And guess what? I wish you the best weekend of your life. Now, do you mind me giving you a couple tips? But before I do, guess what? Water doesn't hydrate. I am going to actually give you some very powerful, simple information today. I promise. It's very simple. If you follow these guidelines, you're going to see major changes in your energy level, your sleeping, your thinking, okay, all right, your temperature, all right, your metabolism, even weight loss, even getting rid of disease. I'm telling you the truth. You know, a lot of things don't cost a lot of money. And the reality is I am going to do whatever I can to cut your costs back, okay? All right? The problem here is that everybody is worried about not making enough money, and I can't come from that place anymore. That's why you get my pdgfree.com. You go there and you get my guide. The most powerful take action manual I believe in the world. Why don't you go there and let me know if you believe that I did a great job or I didn't, okay? And also my library, which we've got about 250,000 invested in it, has more master classes free for you on an emotional, nutritional, and physical basis. I am going to keep on giving as much as I can and still make sure that Doc of Detox and BraveheartNation.com is still running properly, okay? Because I'm going to tell you something. There's nothing better than giving when you can, okay? We've all gotten gifts, but when you can be the gift or give the gift, that's what it's about. It really is what it's about in life. Okay, first of all, I want to tell you something. They lied to you when they told you about hydration. I'm telling you the God's truth, that drinking water all day long, I guarantee that you are getting yourself into a big problem, okay? And people say to me, well, Dr. Wolf, I was told that you should only drink 8 glasses of water a day. Huh? Okay, first of all, does anybody know who actually brought that out? Who brought that up? Who dreamed that up? Do you know who dreamed that up? That was your government. And that was in 1945, because I remember, okay, when I was younger, okay, it was 8 glasses of water, 8 glasses of water. That's all. I mean, think about it. Something so powerful, okay? It's just everybody needs to know they need to drink 8 glasses of water a day. Seriously? That's all you need to know, nothing else. Okay, I'm going to tell you something right now. First of all, did you know that drinking 8 glasses of water, the study they did? Oh, wait a minute, they didn't do a study. They made it up. There's no science behind it. There's no medical information behind that. The whole thing was just made up. Just tell people to drink 8 glasses of water a day. Okay? Now, the reality is, guess what? Does everybody know what real hydration is about? Because, see, when you drink water, you're drinking water for 2 main reasons for most people. And that is to carry the nutrition down to the cellular level and to carry the toxins out, right? And seeing that your blood, okay, is 99% water, close to it. Your brain is 90% water. Your body is 70 to 80% water. We're walking bags of water. So do you think that the type of water that you put in would actually make a difference? How many people know that there's only 2 things that actually cause hydration? Structured water. You heard what I said, structured water. Now, some people are going to go, well, here comes the sales pitch. Structured water and what else? Come on, tell me. Think about it. Electrolytes. Okay, does anybody know what electrolyte is? Electrolyte is actually, okay, a trace mineral, and depending on the electrical charge in that trace mineral will depend on how valuable that electrolyte is, right? So, what are the 2 ways that we know that we need water? Well, we're craving salt. You didn't know that, or did you know that? And we're thirsty. But how many people know that when you feel like your brain's on fire, or when you can't think straight, okay, it's already too late. How many people know that when you're thirsty, it's already too late? You're already too late. So being thirsty tells you that you need water. But most importantly, is your vision clear? Because that's got to do with water. Is your thoughts clear? Oh, I'm just foggy. I can't seem to think properly. You know? Okay? I feel tired. I feel exhausted. Okay? I feel hungry. Most people will be hungry when actually all they need is water. People will believe that they need to lay down and have a rest, which there's nothing wrong with that, but they'll have to do it because they need water. Because water holds what in it? Hydrogen, and it has electrons if it's done properly. And the reality is that electrons are electricity. We know that. Spark. Okay? And we know that hydrogen actually is a fuel. And that will actually come from water. And a lot of people will get a thing called a Kangen water machine. That's probably the biggest thing when it comes to electrolysis of water. Very expensive. And you can get the same thing through a water structure unit. And you can put your water through a structure unit like 7 times. Let me show you. I've got the water structure unit here. See right here. Okay? This is a Dock of Detox water structure unit. And you don't have to get mine. There's other ones out on the market. So check around if you'd like. But the reality is we can put water through here and it'll structure the water. Now, before I go on any more with my story, just understand something. Why is it that a long time ago people would use waterfalls to drink their water, fast-moving rivers, and rainwater? Because those are structured water. See, our ancestors knew that. But everything has been hidden, everything has been buried from us. And understand, once you run this through a structure unit, or you've gotten that fast-moving river, or maybe you've got beautiful spring water coming down from the mountain, that's structured. It is. Check out a spring near your area, and then if you have a structure unit, that'll even make it even more structured. But at least if you're doing that, we know we're getting it really well. Look, let me explain something to you. Okay, so the reality is here, okay, is that, take a look at it. Remember how we were complaining about acid rain getting into the soil? But isn't that kind of funny? Even when it was just acid rain, it didn't harm the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, the microorganisms. And every time it rained, everything jumped for joy. Well, now we got little Billy, okay, lighting up the skies, right? Or poisoning the skies. And the reality is when that rain comes down, it's been structured naturally, okay, by the atmosphere. And when it comes down, even though these heavy metals are in there and the acid rain and the chemicals, just know this, it is not poisoning the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, and the microorganisms, and everything still jumps up for joy, okay? So little Billy, he didn't sucker punch us that hard, okay? But it's still not healthy to do that. I get it, because you don't want to breathe that stuff in. So here's the deal. So structuring is actually a science. Okay, so how many of you find that you're thirsty all the time, or that when you go to eat supper, you have to have something to drink, okay, with your supper? That person who has to drink at their supper is totally dehydrated. Why? Well, because the river's dry. That would be your digestive tract. That's the river of life. And the reality is that you're not chewing your food enough, because the more you chew your food, the smaller the particle of the food, the more that you're going to be able to assimilate it right down to the cellular level, because you don't have a second set of teeth in your stomach. So the reality is that digestive enzymes will only digest the surface area. So we want the particle of the food to be as small as possible. And when we chew our food, you need to understand something. You need to drink your solids and chew your liquids. If you get a person that is not well, and if they were to actually do just blender drinks, that's going to be a lot better. And of course, pure concentrated whole plant-based foods is always going to be better liquefied. But the reality is, if you get somebody who's sick, do they have a lot of energy? Do they chew their food enough? Do they have big chunks going down? They'll never get well. They're just not going to get well. And it's not just because of, you have to understand something. It's not just going to be because of, okay, that the food's not small enough to assimilate down to the cellular level, because we don't have that second set of teeth. But either you digest your food or it putrefies and rots in you. And understand something, right now 90%, even maybe a little bit more of the population is rotting out. And they're rotting out because of stinking thinking, and they're rotting out because they don't combine their foods properly. Like they don't combine, they don't understand combination rules, like you don't combine starches and proteins. That when you have a starch, you can do veggies. So, you know, if I had like potatoes or rice, okay, I could have that with steamed vegetables and salad. If I had a protein, I could have that steamed vegetables and salad. But if you take a look at your meat and potato man, his stomach is like an accordion. It's going up and down all the time, right? He's bloated most of the time. She's bloated most of the time. So understand something, you're either going to digest something or it's going to putrefy in you. And if your food combined properly, and if you don't overeat, like most people don't understand it, but you can cut your eating down, okay, by 60% in weight volume with your food. If you actually chewed your food, if you actually drank structured water that was high in what? What are we talking about? Electrolytes. Okay, so the reality is this. If you don't drink enough water during the day, then you're already dehydrated. Things are going to get glicky and sticky. And if you don't have enough water, you're not detoxifying, you're not carrying your nutrition in. So the reality is this. If you had a baby, would you bathe the baby in the same water for a few days? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't bathe the baby in dirty water. But you're asking 50 trillion cells to bathe in dirty water. So just know this. Most people believe they drink water. Most people believe they drink the right water. And guess what? Most people believe they drink water because of the 8 glasses a day. Most people believe that they drink the right water because guess what? Because you can market anything to a human doing. And I'm saying a human being is somebody that understands that they've got to think, they've got to be on top of it, they've got to do their own research. So I told you, 2 things make the perfect water. Structured and electrolytes. And I told you that an electrolyte is a trace mineral, and depending on the voltage that it has. Are you with me so far? Okay, so let's talk about it. I just wanted to write all the different waters here. So just know this. How many of you have distillers? Just know something. Is water a food? It is, isn't it? Water is a food, and there's different qualities of food, like there's different qualities of water. I told you the top water in the world is not Kangen water, it's structured water. But if you owned a Kangen unit, or you owned a water ozonator, and you structured your water and you did that, you've enhanced it. Okay? So let's just take them one at a time. So distilled water, okay, and reverse osmosis water are 2 of the hardest waters to digest for the human body. How many people know that? How many people know, okay, all right, that your water, when you take in water, your body has to digest it, which means it has to structure it. Do you know how much energy that takes? Now, if you're exhausted or you're stressed out, you don't structure your water. You don't structure your water. Now, if I used this unit here and I poured this structure unit that we sell, and understand something, everyone, I'm going to give you a 90-day money-back guarantee on this thing. Okay, why? Because guess what? It looks ridiculous, and who would ever believe that that could do it? And he's probably going to try to rip us off. So you've got 90 days to try this, and then after 90 days, you don't even have to tell us why you're sending it back. You can just tell us you are sending it back, and we'll tell you where to mail it. Because I'll stand behind everything I do. And this structure unit, we have it for a house, we have it for a pool, we have it for a shower, we have an under-counter unit. And understand, this unit here, it's under $300. And it never breaks down, doesn't take batteries. And if I'm not lying, and this is actually based on science, you can put this under any tap anywhere around the world and not harm yourself. You can also put your alcohol through this, and guess what? You'll get buzzed. You'll even get buzzed quicker. But you won't have a hangover in the morning because I already told you structuring protects you. Okay, so let's go back to distilled water. Did anybody ever notice something? If you get a structure unit, I want you to get distilled water, reverse osmosis, bottled water, tap water, and then I want you to take any of those waters and run it through a structure unit. Oh, here's a white one. And run it through a structure unit. And then what I want you to do is I want you to put your cat or your dog in front, because they go by instinct. And guess what they're going to do? They're not even going to lick the other ones. They are going to lick the structured water. No matter what water you structured, they're going to go after the structured water. Why don't you do it and then let me know if I'm right or wrong? Now here's the reality. When you structure the water, you lower the surface tension when you structure water more than anything else. Distilled, reverse osmosis, Kangen, carbon filtered, ozonated, all of them. Reverse osmosis, none of them can come near it, none of them structure. So when you structure water, your body has to take no energy. Wow, is that true? Yes, it is. It'll also get rid of any of the memory, because guess what? Water picks up memory. It picks up personality. If somebody drank the water and they were sick, that vibration is attached to it. This is real science. Please go do your homework. Even if we were to filter that water with a distiller or carbon filter, reverse osmosis, or any other type of filter, all right? The frequency of the drug, the chemical, the bacteria, the virus, or the person that drank it is still in it. We know that when water gets structured naturally, it's about 17 times that it goes from your tap to your toilet, to your tap to your toilet, and then about every 17 times it then goes up into the atmosphere and becomes structured, because that's the only way it gets structured, because it becomes rain, right? Even if it becomes rain. Or it comes down a fast-moving river, down a waterfall, or down a mountain, all right? So this is where structuring comes from. All rain is structured. Does anybody ever see or hear, if you might have, that there are, in the United States, okay, there are states that it's illegal to capture rainwater. Now, people go, well, that's not fair. But why don't they ask why? Why aren't we questioning authority all the time? They're doing that because when you collect rainwater, no matter what they do to it, it's been naturally structured and it's going to be very healing, okay? Okay, so distilled. When you go to drink your distilled water next time, I want you to drink your distilled water and see how heavy it sits. You can drink one glass, 12 ounces to 16 ounces of distilled or reverse osmosis water, and it's going to sit like a lead cake. But you know what you believe? You said to yourself, I want water with nothing in it, okay? I want water that's going to go in and detoxify me more efficiently than anything else. Well, detoxification really begins and ends in the cells. And understand, distilled water, okay, carbonated water, structured water, distilled water, reverse osmosis water, carbonated water, and even Kangen water does not structure because it's not structured. So they all take energy, but the worst ones are distilled and reverse osmosis, okay? And when you take those in, you're going to feel it in your stomach. It's going to feel like you ate food. It's going to sit heavy. Now here's the deal. When you run it through a structure unit, okay? All right, when you run it through a structure unit, what's going to happen here? Because there's crystals in the structure unit and it's the way that they are formatted, the water will be twirling in all directions at the same time. Okay? All right? And that is how you structure it. Now, when you do structure it, just know this. You've got 1,000% better hydration than any other water. You're going to erase the memory. You need no energy for it to go right down into the cellular level. So if you want to stay healthy or you want to get someone healthy, you better give them a delivery system that's actually going to work, okay? So distilled water, reverse osmosis, everybody goes, well, I want something that's going to take all the toxins out. Well, actually, it's not going to detoxify anywhere near structured water. It's impossible. Carbonation, same thing. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing to purify your water. I get it. You want to purify your water? Great. But the reality is people who use like charcoal carbon to actually filter their water, will get a carbon addiction. If I was going to buy a carbon filter, I would buy a coconut charcoal carbon filter. So think about that, okay? And one that back flushes. That's what we have at the Ixtapa World Healing and Training Center, okay? So that's what we have there, okay? We have that there, and we have structured water throughout the whole Ixtapa 5-star retreat, and we have it in our pool. So like, if you actually structured the water in your pool, you would find that it's silky. You would find that your skin conditions heal. Even if you still use chlorine in the water to purify your pool, and you structure it, and you went underwater, that chlorine would not burn your eyes. Why is that? Did you hear what I just said? It won't burn your eyes. Because you have to understand that the invisible overrides the physical, and we've actually changed the chemical structure of the toxin or the bacteria or the virus or the chemical or the heavy metal. We have overrode that because the invisible creates the physical, just like you are a spirit light energy being and you become physical. The rules don't change. They honestly, they really don't change. They don't change in life. Always know that, okay? Light energy, electrical magnetic beings is what we are, okay? All right. Okay, so let me just say this. So now we get a person that says, wow, I don't drink enough water. I got to drink more water. If it's not structured water and it's all these other waters and they drink a lot of it, people are going to go, you are going to lose your nutrition and minerals. Let me tell you what really happens. When you start drinking, okay, first of all, I can drink 5 quarts, 6 quarts a day, okay? When I do my juicing with vegetable juice, like I do at least 2 quarts a day, minimum, 1.5 quarts of carrot and beet every day. So when I do that, how many people know that the juice from vegetables, the juice from any plant life, okay, when you juice it, it's structured. But anybody that actually juices fruits and drinks fruit juice straight, big mistake. Too much sugar. It's not going to feed cancer like people think. It's just going to throw your blood sugar out of whack. So know that. And you'll feel hypoglycemic because you're going to spike up, okay, because of all that glucose in your blood. You understand? So if I was going to actually juice, I know I'm a little off topic, but if I was actually going to juice any type of fruit juice, I won't drink it, okay, unless it's 50-50. 50% structured water and 50% juice and dilute it down, or even less. I don't want, anybody that goes and buys orange juice or apple juice or any of the fruit juices from stores is just poisoning themselves. Okay, first of all, it's been pasteurized. Everything that's good has been taken out. Okay, it's very acidic for you, and you're putting in too much natural sugars. It won't feed cancer cells because natural sugars actually spin to the left, and they'll go into cells. They won't go into the cancer cell. But if you actually get like processed sugar, it spins to the right, and that's why it feeds cancer cells, and that's why everybody's confused. They don't know what to do about cancer or inflammatory illnesses. And understand something. You could actually do beet juice and carrot juice and actually be helping to reverse your so-called cancer, which is just stage 4 inflammation. Let me get back to this. So now I'm going to drink a ton of distilled water, reverse osmosis, or carbonated water, or bottled water, or tap water, or even I'm going to drink a ton of Kangen water because it's not structured, right? Okay, you with me? So I'm going to drink a lot of that, but the Kangen water does hydrate better than all the rest that I've said. So I'm not putting the unit down, okay? Here. So if I drink a lot of water, which is supposedly going to help me with my hydration, okay? All right? It's not going to. What it's going to do is it's actually going to spike up my aldosterone, okay? And then what's going to happen is my body's going to want to hold on to sodium because you don't want to become sodium depleted. So your body holds on to the sodium and then it's going to spill out, okay? Potassium and magnesium, and that's a big problem. If you don't believe me, go ahead and drink any of these waters and then try to hydrate yourself properly. And understand this, you can drink less water, a lot less water, and become hydrated because structured water hydrates in the body 1,000% better than all other waters. Now, I want to show you something. Where did I put that? Right here. Can you hand me this right here, these 3 bottles? Thank you. Let me just wave some people. Right here. Okay. The other one. That one. Thank you, that's good. All right, so I'm going to show you, and here it comes, but I want you to call me and tell me what you think. So now if I took structured water, and then I put, okay, if I took in as much as only 40 drops a day, if I was healthy, this is called Beyond Ormus, okay? And these are, like it says, high voltage electrolyte minerals. Did you know that these have the highest electrolyte potential of any mineral compound that we know of? Okay, so we get our, okay, we make our electrolyte mineral drink, okay, and we get that from the Arctic runoff. The minerals run off into the ocean. What happens is, then the plant life in the ocean, the algae, turns it into plant minerals. And so your body doesn't take rock minerals very well. Trust me on this. It's not, this is the cheap way that people do it. So now we've taken the rock minerals, made them into plant minerals, and how many people know that there's 92 different trace minerals in this product? How many people know that tested wise, and this is the test, we can show it to you, it's in my Perfect Day Guide, go to pdgfree.com and get my whole guide. It's the most powerful take action guide in the world, and it's free to you. It's a 550-page graphic masterpiece that an 8-year-old could understand. And I'm going to unravel all the BS, dysfunctional belief systems. Could you tell Cynthia not to call me, please? And I'm going to unravel all the dysfunctional belief systems that you've been taught by corporations and even other health practitioners, okay? And I'm going to give you back your power, and that's what we need to do. So what do you think 40 drops would cost you a day of this? Now, if you've got a chronic illness, you want to be up to about 80 drops. Put that in and make sure throughout the day you took your 40 or your 80 drops. If you have a child, that child weighs 50 pounds, then you're going to go 1/3 of that. If that child weighs 75 pounds, because usually when we talk about an adult dosage, it's 150 pounds, right? And don't worry, you can't OD on any of my products. People go, well, can my dog take it? Can my little baby take it? My God, a brand new baby, okay, just born, would love this. It would be the greatest thing for them. I mean, electrolytes are what it's all about. And electrolytes are just trace minerals that have the highest electrical charge. These have the highest electrical charge on the planet as far as we know. Those of you that are giving your kids and letting your kids drink Gatorade, just know that you're letting them drink liquid cancer. And you're also spiking their glucose way up. Are they getting some electrolytes? Yes. Okay, but are they getting even a worse effect from it and a crash? Yes. I'm guarantee you'll have more energy. And if you wanted to, let's say you have your children or yourself and you're going to go and you're going to go play sports, or you wanted to kick in the electrolytes, well, what would you do? Structured water. You do the Beyond Ormus minerals, okay? And I'll tell you about them, a little bit more about them in a minute. And then I put a little bit of black diamond in. How many people know that black diamond, this is the only humic fulvic that hasn't been treated with chemicals. We're the only company in the world that do not use chemicals to treat humic fulvic. And this product here will go right into your cells, into your blood, into your brain. This product here will look after heavy metals. It'll look after getting rid of blood, brain, and cellular parasites, okay? And what it'll do is drop off more minerals, okay? They're not as highly charged as the Ormus minerals, but it'll drop off 70 to 80 trace minerals into your body as well. Trust me, minerals are the key. before enzymes. Mineral the key before vitamins. Minerals are the key before your good bacteria. And understand, your good bacteria will come back because of black diamond and our black gold, which is for the digestive tract. Okay, so I'm only putting like 1/16 of a teaspoon to 1/8 of a teaspoon in every liter or quart of structured water. And then if I drink 3 quarts a day, I might put in 15 drops 3 times, or you could just put the whole 40 drops into one container of structured water, and I guarantee you, you're going to feel the buzz in your brain. That is the truth about hydrating the human body, okay? And with this, okay, just know this. The biggest company that sells trace minerals is called Human Body, okay? And with this, okay, just know this. The biggest company that sells trace minerals is called Concentrace, and they get a lake. It's so heavy in mercury, but this company sells like $1 billion of this a year, okay? And the reality is they can't even come close to this purity. So I'm not trying to put them down. I'm trying to tell you they should be getting the mercury out of their product and instead of still selling it to people. I'm going to tell you something right now, that the things I talk about are so controversial that I have to be right on the money. I have to be able to prove everything. If I was just talking and trying to sell something like the majority of the population always buys into, it would be that easy. But when I'm talking about something that's different, that's cutting edge, people are always going, I don't believe it, I don't believe it. Because almost everything new that the majority of the population hears, they don't believe. But meanwhile, they'll believe the same old BS, okay, dysfunctional belief systems. And what's that? Well, how many people are still going for chemo, radiation? How many people are still taking drugs when we know that, guess what? If you took the whole bottle if you took the whole bottle of this, you would probably clean out. You'd probably have diarrhea because the energy in this would detoxify you so fast. If I took a whole bottle of a prescription drug, okay, and I didn't take the 1 pill or the 2 pills a day, chances are it would kill me. So what would that mean if a whole bottle would kill me if I took it? That means that I'm just killing myself slowly. So understand something, okay? All your hunger, okay? Oh, I just got to eat all the time. I got to snack all the time. I can't sleep at nights, okay? I'm always stressed out. I can't focus. My kids can't focus, all right? I'm always hungry. You know what it is? It's a lack of trace minerals. You heard what I just said. And for your kids, take a look at, let me see if I can reach it. Nope, I can't. It's called the Perfect Day Multi. I have what's called the Perfect Day Multi, and it's got 150 different organic nutrients, vitamins, antioxidants, and minerals in it, and everybody should be taking it. This multi is beyond any supplement for a pregnant woman. Nothing comes even close to this. And anybody can take my products, okay? Your pets, your kids, your babies, your husband even. How's that? The reality is I need to tell you something. If you want to lose weight, you got to turn off your hunger. If you want to turn off your hunger, then you've got to get electrolytes and you got to get minerals, vitamins, enzymes. You got to get these things into your body because that's how you turn the switch off. Let me just say this. A lot of people, how many people here are snacky all the time? Well, that's because you're not getting proper nutrition, and that's because you're full of fungus, okay? And just know this, 99 out of 100 people have parasites. And if you were to bring up your electrolytes, bring up your minerals, and you were to drink structured water and just bring up the frequency of everything you eat, drink, and think and do, you'll never have parasites. And I said parasites are in 99% of the population. And I'm going to tell you something right now. You don't need a parasite cleanse. You need no issues in your tissues, which means you need to bring up your integrity. Why don't you go and download my Perfect Day Guide at pdgfree.com and read The Parasite Party. And you're going to find out that I talk about parasites differently than everyone else. Do you actually think a parasite would live in my body? No. I have unconditional love and care for myself. I have respect for myself. And I will not do anything to harm this body. Will I play the odd time? Will I have like a shot of Mescal in some in a beautiful lemonade with maybe some organic honey? And will I only do 2 even if I'm at a party? Yes, that's it. That's my limit. I know my limit, and most people, guess what? You know, it's not because they have addictions that they binge alcohol. It's not because they have addictions that they toke too much. It's not because they have addictions that they overeat. Okay, it's not because they have addictions that they do too much sugar. I'm going to tell you what it is. They don't have enough love for themselves. Do you think a guy like me would actually pick chemo, radiation, or drugs? Okay, I love myself way too much. You have to unconsciously, okay, have a dislike for yourself to pick things that are poisonous in your life. Whether the people you hang around with, the things you drink, the things you eat, the things that you do. I'm not putting you down. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. If we're all swimming in the same bucket of poop, okay, and you've been doing it all your life, it's what you're used to. If I say to someone, how's your health? They could have 1, 2, or 3 autoimmune diseases. You know, a person can actually be adult onset diabetes, have heart disease, and I say, how's your health? And they'll say, good. Do you know why? Because they're not in the hospital. Meanwhile, they could be taking 3 or 5 different medications, and their health is good. You can see what happened here in 100 years. Okay? All right? How many people know that the Rockefellers, they came out with the prescription drug? Okay? How many people know about Medical Mafia? Go watch or read Medical Mafia in my library, and you're going to find out something, that the Rockefellers paid $100 million, okay, to the AMA, which was going to go broke in 1910. They were going to go broke. And they paid them $100 million and said, your job is to go out and close down 110 colleges and universities that teach natural health in North America and get rid of every university that isn't going to carry Rockefeller or Carnegie drugs. There was nothing before that. And the doctors back then were called quacks, and now I'm the quack. So the reality here is that most people don't have anything to compare to. It's not their fault. But the reality is we have to really wake up to this. Why am I talking about this? Well, because anybody that's taking any medication, all right, or how many people know that if you do one 12-ounce Coke, that you have to drink 10 glasses, okay, of structured water. Not water, structured water, just to neutralize that. 10 glasses to neutralize what came in that 12-ounce Coke. So the reality is give me a person that does coffee, that doesn't know how to make that coffee with black gold and put C60 MCT oil in it, okay, to bring up the health of that coffee, and then to run it through a structure unit, okay, to protect yourself. So drink too much coffee, drink too much Coke, don't know what hydration really is, and this is why we have, okay, 90 to 92% of the population with an autoimmune disease. This is why we have now 86% of the population is grossly overweight. This is why we have 60% of the population, 40 to 60% of the population, depending where you grow, that has obesity. And guess what? It's diabesity that will take down at least, I'd say, about 20 to 30% of the population by 2030. So forget about all the other things that you're blaming other people on. But the reality is, if you could create a perfect day from the moment you rise until you close your eyes, and that's what my perfect day guide will do. Even if you don't want to call us and get a consult, which you'll charge you $150. Nobody else does that in the world. $150. It goes to pay for the setup of my website, for all the consultations, and to pay my consultant. And then guess what? With that, you will get lifetime support. You can call us as often as you want. But you can call us anyways, and we'll help you anytime you want. And I mean that. We have at least 6 to 8 people online all the time during the day with your health questions. Why don't you call and test us and see if we're going to be friendly? See if you have to buy something. You don't have to buy anything from us. I'm going to give you my perfect day guide. That's 40 years of my work. And it's the best of the best. And it truly is. Go read through it and tell me that if you read through that 550 pages, and there's lots of beautiful pictures to show everything, to explain everything. Once you've read that book, tell me that I didn't rock your world. And I don't care if you went to naturopathic school, okay, for 4 years. You read that book and you're going to get a lot more out of it than that. Any governmental school, okay, any approved governmental school, I don't care if it's in natural health, okay, most of it you just don't need. Okay, how many of you people came out of grade 12 or out of university and you knew how to love and care for yourself or another human being? How many people came out and knew anything about finance? How many people came out and knew how to feed themselves and to feed another human being? The reality is that the systems were built to sell us off by the pound. And you know what? I'm not trying to create trouble. I'm trying to create happiness and joy. You know what I want? And the only thing I want from you, first and foremost, I just want you to have the best day of your life and know that, guess what? That you can't walk around and wait for a smile to happen because somebody told you a joke or that they love you. You need to love yourself and get a slight smile on and connect to your breath. The Lionheart breath, 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out. Put your shoulders back. What is it that you've always wanted? I want you to sit with comfort with that. And I want you tonight, if you don't mind, and just start because it's the weekend, do a Braveheart Heroes contract where you're actually going to write down everything that you would like to see, be, hear, feel, where you want to live, how you want to be treated by yourself and others. Just sit down and write that contract. What are your dreams? What are your desires? And know that that which created the whole universe has never judged you. And know that every time that you put out a vibration, I'm an idiot, you are an idiot. Okay? You'll get more idiot vibes. Okay? I can't even pay my bills. Well, guess what? You're not going to be able to. You better be living it. You know, don't tell me what you want. Tell me what you want to be, and then I want you to be there now. I want you to fake it. I want you to fake it. This isn't lying. This is you using your imagination. Image, imagination is everything. Everything that you've ever created, whether it's the disease you have, or the healing you have, or the house you live, or the job you have, or the friends you have, or what you do every day, is your... I will not allow my subconscious to disrespect me or anybody else. I'm not telling you I'm 100% with that, but I will acknowledge that person and apologize, and I will apologize to myself, and I'll go, 3, 2, 1, I got this. New sheriff in town. 3, 2, 1, I'm not doing this. 3, 2, 1, I love and care for myself. 3, 2, 1, I am beautiful. And why do we count backwards? Because the subconscious can't. And every time that something happens, remember the person that sets you off and then you're pissed off for 2 days, 3 days, 2 weeks, 2 lifetimes? Seriously? Take a look at it. You've put a measurement of pissed offness on all kinds of things. And do you know why? You don't even know why. You were just programmed to do it. Every family has different rules, don't they? If you do this, you get this. In that family, you get this. What about you changing the beliefs that aren't even yours? Because whether you want to believe it or not, 70 to 90% of all the beliefs you have were given to you by systems, by your parents, and by your peers. And guess what? 70 to 90% of those are BS, dysfunctional belief systems. And guess what? Love them anyway. Oh, tell me that things are balanced. Tell me that people can stay centered when there's a crisis going on. If you could be in charge of your emotions, you would be in charge of your whole life. But you'd have to be in the present moment. I'm in the present moment probably 95% of my day. I hope you know that 99 out of 100 people are in the present moment 2% of the day. Can't you tell? There's chaos everywhere. Fear everywhere. I can't seem to get sick. I can't seem to get ahead. Well, that's because you've been programmed to have poverty thinking. With love, with health, with your wealth. You think I'm kidding? Yeah, you're cursed. You're cursed, all right. You're cursed by beliefs you don't even know you run. You actually think that that was a God-given personality, or that is your personality. You should be changing your personality every day. You should be changing by 1% every day, and you should be doing something every day that scares you a little bit and excites the living right into you. When's the last time that you were so excited about something, but it scared you? Go back and get it. And do it today. 3, 2, 1. You got this, Braveheart. Thanks for joining me.